All right, today we've got a very special guest joining us. He's a former #1 NBA draft pick, first team All-American at Ohio State, and a player who's left his mark both on and off the court. These days, he's focused on giving back and shaping the next generation. Y'all give a big welcome to the one and only Greg Oden. What's up, cousin?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
What's up,
for
man?
having me.
Nah, we
Good,
appreciate
man.
you being here. It's an honor for me, man. I don't think, maybe you do know, brother. You special. You special. And it don't have anything to do with basketball, which is ironic for me. Just, from a distance, watching your evolution, you overcoming all the trials and tribulations of your life, you being outspoken about some of the things you've experienced, you taking accountability for things that maybe have not gone the right way. I'm just a fan of the man, yo. So this is truly an honor for me, bro.
I appreciate that. That was some great words, and thank you for the introduction. I really do. I've been through some things, and I'm happy to be on this side of it, and I got a beautiful family, and just thinking better, thinking positive. I'm happy, so I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, we see you got family, you got your daughter's drawings behind you, you got unicorns,
man.
hearts, pink. We see the vibes, my man. You living a healthy
Hey,
life.
This is what happens when you got an 8-year-old and she take over your workspace. So
Hey,
I got
listen,
to.
bro. Cherish it, all right? Because when it's gone, it is gone. Let me just tell you that. So we know that you've been through hardship. I care about it because it's a part of your story, but I don't care about talking about it right now. I want to revisit the happier times in your life. What was the happiest moment in your career, man?
Well, the happiest moment has to be draft night. I mean, it was very busy. It was a lot going on that day, but with my name called, it changed my life. It changed my whole entire family's lives. And it was just nice to be recognized for the work that I have put in since I was a kid.
Now, we talked a lot about NIL on this platform. Going back or looking back, how much money do you think that you would have made at Ohio State in that one season?
$5 million easy. Nah, I'm kidding.
No, you probably right.
I think right now Hunter Dickerson is like kind of the highest paid, around $2 million. So I'll say it has to be mid $3 million, 3.5 at that time.
Yo, respectfully, if Hunter Dickinson is getting $2 million, you would have made $6 million. You have to stop. You gotta stop being humble.
Hey, I got to. I respect this game. I do. Respect to the big man.
Bro, stop. We don't even know if Hunter will be drafted. You were the #1 overall draft pick. And it wasn't just you, right? Because you went to Ohio State with Mike Conley, with Daquan Cook, right? Like, you were the centerpiece for a phenomenal team that really probably should have won the NCAA title, if we can be all the way honest. So that's worth a pretty penny.
I mean, I would say so. Playing with those guys, growing up and playing with them since middle school and all the way through high school to go to college with them, it was just special. And I'm so happy we all got to experience that draft night together as well. Those are my guys, man. And I wish we could have won that natty, but we went up against some pretty good talent down there in Gainesville.
Yeah, that's a tough out. Corey Brewer and them boys was a tough out. I ain't gonna lie to you. This wasn't even a question that I wanted to ask, but I feel inspired to ask it because you did grow up playing with Daquan and Mike, right? Jeff Teague's podcast is going crazy, right? The 520 pod, they're doing phenomenal numbers. Growing up, who did you think was better, Jeff Teague or Mike Conley?
Growing up, I thought Mike was better. I always thought Mike was the best point guard out there. He was my point guard. So, and Jeff was a little bit younger than us. So it wasn't really a comparison coming up like that.
So let's talk a little bit about your draft situation, right? You were drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, and just last year they drafted #2 overall pick Scoot Henderson. And he maybe not has been what everyone maybe expected out of him so far, which is fine. He has a runway to continue to develop. But what would you tell Scoot about managing expectations in the city of Portland?
Well, it's very high over there in Portland, as I know from experience. Yeah. But the one thing I will say to him is to continue to get better each day. Don't listen to the outside world. Listen to your coaches. You got a Hall of Famer as your head coach. So if he's telling you you're doing the right things, if you coming in, you being professional, you getting better every day, you taking care of yourself on and off the court and doing the little things to be the best player you're going to be. You can't control what the organization is going to do in 2 or 3 years. All you can do is be the best player you can possibly be and what's going to happen after that is, you're going to learn, you're going to grow, you're going to develop as a player. As long as he has the mindset of being professional and getting better, that's all he needs to worry about. He doesn't need to worry about anybody else's expectations.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Bronny because obviously we know that you played with LeBron in Miami. You probably watched Bronny grow up a little bit. What was your reaction to that historic moment with him and LeBron?
Well, I mean, I was excited. It was
Hmm.
cool, like everybody else. I mean, the only time we saw that, I think, was Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad. So I thought it was an awesome moment for history, especially playing a sport like basketball and to play long enough to play with your son and still be doing it at a high level. Like, that's amazing what we're watching LeBron do at that age. And I'm happy for Bronny to get that opportunity. Look, the Lakers took a chance on him. It's up to him to develop and be the best player he can be. But this is going to be his journey as well. You can't just piggyback that off of what Bron did. Bronny's going to have to, this is the path that he chose to take. If that means he got to play some games in the G League and develop a little bit more, then that's so be it. But he's here. Can't nobody take that away from him. He getting paid. He on the Lakers. He can always say that.
This year's #1 overall draft pick, Zachary Ricochet, is living completely under the radar. He is like super anonymous. I've never seen a situation quite like this where #1 overall draft pick has no notoriety. Nobody even knows what he really looks like. I might have just mispronounced his name. How is it possible that the #1 overall draft pick is still such an unknown?
It's actually baffling to me, to be honest with you, because, I started to look up some of his stuff and I was like, but I watched NBA Game Time like every night. I watch SportsCenter every night, and nobody's talking about this kid. And honestly, I don't know if you did say his last name right. I just know I'm not going to try it. But I will say this, it's only like 80 of us in this fraternity and #1 draft pick. So can't nobody ever take that away from him. And like I said with Scoop, and like I said with Bronny, if the organization believes in him, they're giving him a chance and giving him the opportunity to grow in their own way. That's all he has to do is stay a kid, which we all are when we come in. Give us a couple of years to develop. We don't come in knowing everything. Everybody's not LeBron James.
Right.
So that's why I again say, we got to commend on what he's doing, coming with those expectations to live up to him and not take a step back through all these years. That's really unheard of. It doesn't happen for a lot of us. So for him, while he's down there and he's playing, just keep on playing. Just keep on growing, taking it in, learning everything you can and getting better each day. And hopefully one day we're talking about him a lot more.
Well, is there any part of you, though, that wishes you could have had a little more anonymity?
Well, there's a part of me that would wish I was in Atlanta because I'm not going to lie. So, I remember just getting drafted to Portland, and then a couple of years later, I'm looking at Al Horford, who that year got drafted to Atlanta, and the Sierra video. Oh, and I used to hate on him every time.
Yo, Greg, I've seen you talk about your life and your history. I don't know if Atlanta would have been the right city for you during that time.
But we wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known. Why not give me a shot?
It's a lot of strip clubs in Portland, though. Sorry, Samaria,
Yes,
go ahead.
it is, actually.
Is
yes,
it?
it is. It really is.
It has more strip clubs per square mile than any city in America.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
That's a fact. Strip club capital of America.
Now,
Yeah.
how many Rodney have you been to?
They don't have my kind of talent.
Oh,
But-
Look, I'm quiet over here. Look, I'm not saying anything.
Salute.
Oh my God. I mean, going back to some of the things like the key moments or the mindset that you want some of the younger players to have right now in the NBA, do you feel like that was like the biggest lesson that you learned during your career?
Yes, some of those things at a young age, learning how to be professional, even going through the injuries, like staying around the team, staying engaged with the organization, your teammates, because it's so easy to be taken away from a team and not building rapport with guys. I kind of want to take that into what's going on down there in Philly, and Embiid, and those guys constantly being injured, not getting that practice time, not being able to play in the games and just building rapport. So they're really not gelling like that. And we're wondering why they're 2-11. You know, they came in thinking they were going to have this veteran roster, and now they got all these young guys playing that probably didn't play as much, you know, in training camp. So it's just, you know, a time I like, you know, guys, because for me, I was just injured. But, you know, I'm sitting at home while they're at practices and on road trips, you know. I would like to be around and just build that kind of energy. So when you are able to get back on the court with those guys, it's a lot easier and smoother. But, you know, when I was young, I was staying away. I didn't think I needed to be around. I didn't take that part as seriously. I didn't, you know, treat my body like the castle, you know, have the chef early on, you know. So a lot of these guys just need to be a little bit more professional and take that part to it.
Yeah, they say that the youth is wasted on the young, man. Perspective is so crazy. When you get older, you're like, damn, I could have handled that a lot differently.
Right.
As you made reference to earlier, you know, where you're drafted will have a huge impact on the kind of career that you have, right?
Yes.
And so when I look at Philadelphia, you just mentioned Joel Embiid, there has to be a part of you who sees him and says, man, that was kind of my game low key. Maybe not all the way out to 3, but you had a phenomenal mid-range touch, you know, being so big, being a rim protector. His versatility is something that I feel like you would have inevitably developed into. But there is this thing about Joel, especially right now in the media cycle, where people are starting to wonder and question whether or not he's the kind of guy who can lead a franchise to a championship. If Joel Embiid never changes ever a thing about himself or his game, do you feel like he is capable of carrying the Sixers to a chip?
No, if he never changes, no. If he doesn't change his game, if he doesn't change the way he handles stuff off the court, his professionalism with his team and his teammates, and just getting a more I need to be out there attitude, I don't think he's going to be able to win a championship, but I also believe he can change. And if he's healthy, I think he can lead an organization to a championship. You can't deny his talent. You can't deny the impact he has on both ends of the floor and just the larger than life persona and personality that he is. I think he can. He just has to be healthy and he has to take it seriously and he has to want it.
So you do see a little bit of, and I'm not trying to put you in a position to talk negatively about him, but do you see a little bit of immaturity, or what's the thing that you see that you're like, man, like he should tighten that up a little bit?
I think he was given so much leeway coming in. You know, they made this big investment into a kid that was only playing, 3 or 4 years before, you know, he got drafted with that pick. And, you know, he was so young and he was still injured. So there was a lot more leeway on that sense of it as well. But also knowing that, like, look, for a year or two, they was talking about this guy that's never even been on the court yet that's going to lead this franchise to the promised land. You know, how much, like, giving him the keys to the kingdom. And so what do you think he's going to do with it? He's going to take all that. And then he's performing and showing, like, look, I'm the most dominant player when I am out there. How much more leeway he going to get? So, you know, it's kind of hard to reel that back in. But I think for him, it's just going to be the mindset that he wants that championship. And then things are going to start changing because they do have talent around him right now. And honestly, I hope PG can stay healthy enough to add to that because I think he's one of the top scorers in the league when he is healthy.
He got hurt again last night, too.
I know. And it wasn't that knee. Everybody was talking about, you know, that's what he hurt earlier. I went flashbacks to when he actually, like, broke his leg. That's what I was thinking about.
I was at that game. That was crazy. I was in Vegas at that game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was insane. Whew. Nasty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're good.
I'm just rubbing my leg.
So I know that you're in your daughter's play area. She's taking it over. It's not yours anymore. Give that up. But you celebrated 7 years of marriage this year. How has finding a life partner impacted and changed your life?
I would love to say it taught me patience, but I already had it. It's testing my patience. But no, honestly, you know, having somebody that believes in you, somebody that can give you a different point of view, somebody that's going to love you unconditionally no matter what I go through. You guys can see me right here smiling, but that's somebody who, you know, had to fold my clothes the other day or willingly folded my clothes the other day, actually. But somebody that you're around and you can do life with, but that you trust. And so that kind of brings you to a space where you're confident in yourself, you're confident in the things you do, and you got somebody you can complain to at the end of the day. So I'm very thankful for my wife for putting up with me. I love her to death, and I'm happy we made it here to these 7 years, and hopefully there's more to come.
Oh, that was so cute, Greggy Weggy.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. I mean, I did make it 7 years, but we talking about. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, I appreciate that, brother. Wait. Mike Conley or Derrick Rose?
Mike Conley. For me,
over Derrick Rose?
Well, only just because of the longevity and how long he's been leading the team. So if we're gonna go as a point guard, I'm going Mike Conley. But we all know Derrick Rose, the creative player for those 5 years, was one of the most dynamic players the game has ever seen. I'm not going to deny him that. But me personally, Mike Conley's my favorite point guard. So what can I say? So
of all time,
that's my opinion, though. So Mike, that's my opinion.
Wait. All right, Mike Conley or Damian Lillard?
I'm going Mike Conley.
You boy.
I love it.
I'm a ride for mine. So I don't know about you.
Mike Conley or Kyrie Irving?
Mike Conley. You think I'm gonna go anything else but my boy?
Mike Conley or Steph Curry?
Ooh, now Steph is arguably top 3 most influential players in the game of basketball. But if we go on point guards, I'm going Mike Conley. Holler at me.
Get the hell out of here.
I love it. Well, Greg, thank you so much for coming on with us. Like, this has been so insightful, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate you guys having me, getting me on you all's platform. This is awesome. I really appreciate the conversation.
Do you have something that you're working on right now? Because you've been making the media rounds. I saw you on Gil's Arena. What we got cooking over there? Because you're not just doing all of this.
I mean, just getting my face out there. To be honest with you, I'm trying to go more into the mentoring space and consulting, motivational speaking, and just trying to help coach these kids and help them make better decisions than me, and hopefully take a lot of this money that they're getting at an early age and grow it. You never know when the game's going to be taken away from you. So just trying to help these kids get a better mindset. We'll see what's coming from that, but that's the space that I'm trying to move into right now.
Salute. That's powerful, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day, and that your daughter paints on the walls and you get mad.
Hey, happy early Turkey Day to you all. So have a good one.